Alright, here's a tip about using up the last little bit of your reel. First thing we need to know is how much filament is on there. So we can use our scale, turn it on. We have an empty reel over here from a previous use of this filament. So now over here we can set this to grams. Then we can press the tare button, put this on. That's the empty reel. That's right, we put it on first. So the empty reel weighs about 107 grams, but just to be a little more accurate, 106 maybe. Press the tare button. Now it's set to 0 with this weight on it. And then we put this on, and it says we have 6 grams left. So 6 grams of filament. So I happen to have a test that only takes 1.5 grams, so I can use this filament to maybe do 3 of those tests. Alright, so that's it for this part. Then I want to show you how I'm going to feed it into the machine so it doesn't get all tangled up. Alright, so rather than put this inside the machine with such a little amount on here and worrying about it getting tangled as it comes out, we're going to feed it in through the side using our side loader tube. So we go in through here, and then so it starts in through here. Then we're going to unwind this all the way, so it's just hanging out here. That way we don't have to worry about the end of it. Unwind this and get it detached. Okay, now it's all detached. I'm going to cut the end of this off. This end has got a crimp in it. We don't want to have that get jamming things up. So we're going to cut that off. So now the end is clean. So now I can feed all the way through this outside tube without any restrictions. And then I'll show you what goes on inside. All right, so I fed it through this tube, and I rewrapped it on our reel, but now the end is free, so it's not caught in the little holder here on the side. I'm just using our side loader. I think this will feed in smoother than if it was inside. So it comes out of our feeder tube, our side loader tube, into the regular tube, and up into the printhead. So you can see this is feeding smoothly over here without any problems. So. Then we just load it normally, and we can print our test prints. All right, our test print's going, and we're almost done feeding this reel in. So we should have enough left. This test needed 3 grams, and I should have about 4 grams left. So we'll follow it as it goes through and finishes up. Alright, so it's off the reel now. It's not being tangled up or anything, so everything's going smoothly. And the print is almost done. Right, the print's done, so that's a good way to use up the last little amount of your filament. Here's another tip. Use a uninterruptible power supply. So a UPS is a battery that can run your printer even when the power goes out. So this is plugged into the power, the wall power, and then the printer is actually plugged into this. So if the power goes out from the utility company, then this battery can supply AC power for the printer for a certain amount of time. So we can check the run time. So it says it can run for 67 minutes at this rate. So it's, it's doing its usual things. It's heating up the filament and moving the printhead around and so forth. So this can save you if the power goes out for a short period of time and your print will keep going. I'm controlling my print from my laptop, which also has a battery, so that'll keep working too. So it won't solve everything. If the power is out for more than an hour, I'm going to be out of luck. But it will prevent short power outages from stopping your prints and wasting time and materials. Okay, here's a new trick I learned, how to unclog the printhead. I was disassembling this, as you saw in the other video. Turns out you can just run a unload filament. The other thing I'll mention is that most of the time, whatever filament temperature I'm using for the extruder and the preheat, which is used for load and unload, I usually add 5 or 10 degrees, makes it work better. So first you heat it up to unload the filament. I'll just take a second here. So you unload the filament, pushing this down, pulling up of course. You can see that blob there. So this head is clogged. So now to unclog it, you put it on preheat. And you just want to preheat the head, and then if you push this lever down far enough, you can completely clear the gear that usually pulls the filament, and then you can just clean the filament by just pressing down right here without having to disassemble it. So I'm pushing out all the old filament out the bottom, which I'll show you in a second, without disassembly. So that saves like a ton of time. So in between, when I change filaments now, particularly if I waited overnight, I'm just going to always unclog it by using this unclogging tool. If you look down below, see all the old blobby filament came out. See that big blob there. Okay, so that's a simple way now to unclog your Flashforge Dreamer or Dreamer MX printhead without disassembling. That's going to save a ton of time. So here's a failed print. Here's the rest of the print here. So I had an extruder problem, wasn't extruding properly. First layer adhered okay, but it adhered a little bit too well. And this kind of stuff is really hard to get off completely, but you can save your printing surface by heating the bed up to about 100 degrees. 80 might be enough, but I just go to 100 and start working on it when it gets to about 80. So it's up to 56 now. Heat up to about 100 degrees, then we had a power failure. Okay, well the printer's rebooting now, so I'll have to restart this. But alright, so we're going to start this back up again. So we're trying to get up to 100 degrees or so. And then this PLA filament melts at about 60. So if you get up to 100, then it kind of peels off like taffy or gum. So it's much easier to get off. This would require a lot of scraping and you wouldn't get all this off. But if you heat up the bed to 100 or at least 80 degrees C, then you can kind of just push it off. And I'll show you that as soon as it heats up. Alright, so the bed temperature is up to about 80 now. So we can start trying to peel this off. Now, when you go after this, you just kind of you can just grab this and just kind of like taffy would be my best analogy. A lot of times you can just pull it off like this, and it comes off very clean. There's just a little residual left you can easily get off with your spatula. So let's try another one of these. Yeah, see how this just peels off? So you can save, your bed. It just peels off like taffy, right? You can save your bed surface and not replace it just by heating it up to about 100 or at least 80 now. So 80 is probably enough. Yeah, I think it's up to 90 now. I'm going to stop it. So once you have up to 80, 90 degrees, the PLA will just kind of peel off like taffy. So that's my hint for saving your bed when you have a failed print. The other thing I do to recover the bed surface after a bad print, or even just a regular print that leaves some residuals, I use this 150 grit sandpaper. You can sand this down. The bed is heated up to about 80 degrees right now, 85 I guess. So as long as you move your hand around it, it won't get too hot. Keep switching sides. So this will get off any little small little blips of filament, and then you can use your wide spatula and peel it smooth. As long as you don't hear anything and it flows smoothly, it means your surface is clear. Then I take my lint-free cloth, just a pillowcase, wipe it down, and then I usually move my hand over it. It's a little bit too hot to touch with your hand right now, but When it gets a little cooler, you can just feel with your hand if there's any rough spots, and then you can come back with your sandpaper or your spatula, whichever spatula works better for you. So I end up using both of these. This is the one that came with the printer. This is the one I have a link for in the show notes. So that way you can save these. These things aren't that cheap. I think it's about $6 a piece, something like that. So I hate to replace this. I have to. And with PLA, you can almost always clean up the bed even after a failed print just by heating it up and peeling it off. And then finishing it up with the sandpaper and any little extra spatula work you need to get it back in shape. So I really like these Flashforge print surfaces. They're really good adhesion. They end up with a matte finish on the bottom, but from what I'm doing, that's okay. Eventually, if I want to print some stuff with a shiny finish, I may have to go to a glass surface. But for what I'm doing, a matte bottom is fine. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is STScI signing out, and keep looking up.